They say you can tell a lot about a person by the contents of their freezer. So, what does a bottle of Jägermeister say? It says you have standards, you don't cut corners, and you like your Jägermeister shots the way they're meant to be enjoyed, ice cold. As for the frozen taquitos and mystery leftovers, we'll keep that between us. Drink it cold, or don't drink it at all. Jägermeister. Damn, that's cold. Drink responsibly. Jägermeister liqueur, 35% alcohol by volume. Imported by Mast Jägermeister, U.S. White Plains, New York.
Ready to soundtrack your summer? With Red Bull Summer All Day Play, you choose a playlist that fits your summer vibe the best. Are you a festival fanatic, a deep end DJ, a road dog, or a trail mixer? Just add a song to your chosen playlist and put your summer on track. Red Bull Summer All Day Play. Red Bull gives you wings. Visit redbull.com/brightsummer ahead to learn more. See you this summer.
You survived the Miami weekend, nailed the speech, and maxed out your credit card in the name of friendship. Now you've got one hangover, 4 pastel dresses, and 0 reasons to wear them again. Sell them on Depop. Just snap a few photos, and we'll take care of the rest. And you at least get some of your dignity, money back. Someone on Depop wants what you've got. Start selling now. Depop, where taste recognizes taste.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
At it again with another shade of blue. We are the KC Soccer Journal. This show is sponsored by Core Outdoor Equipment. My name is Cody Bradley. I've got Thad Bell and Carrie Robinson here with me. We had a U.S. game today, a nice win for the Yanks. Current got a win, nice form for the Current right now after a rough start. But let's just go ahead and start here. Nope, not last night. More time than has passed than that. Friday night, the three of us spoke on a panel at the Olathe Public Library talking about the World Cup. I had so much fun at this event. There were a good number of people there, and not just people that Thad brought. There were definitely people that were here at this event to talk soccer, talk about the World Cup, and get around the excitement. I had a lot of fun. What about you guys?
Yeah, it was fun. I'm disappointed that you didn't bring somebody, Cody.
I did not bring a single
Carrie,
person.
where was your family?
They were out of the country.
Where are your parents at right now? What are they doing?
My parents just got back from Canada. They went up to go see Bruno Mars.
Whoa. Your parents seem cool. Every time she shares a little tidbit about her parents, they seem really cool. I like these people.
They are cool.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so I didn't bring anybody. My parents had other plans, so I couldn't get them to come. Yeah, Thad, I saw you brought some people, but no, there were definitely people in that crowd that were just like, hey, the library is putting on an event. We like soccer. Let's go talk about soccer with these people. We got to answer a little kid asked a question. Like, it was so much fun. I think we imparted some wisdom.
Don't want to forget, Chad Smith did actually help set this up and kind of was the talker for the most part because he does that for a living. So thanks, Chad, for setting it up and kind of doing
He was
all
our
that
host.
Yep.
I was thinking about this earlier. We should have just recorded it and put it out.
Yeah, it should have just been a podcast. It really should have. No, thank you to those listeners that came out. We got to hang out with a couple of you, so that was also cool. Yeah, that was good. Thank you to the Olathe Public Library for reaching out and inviting us to come do that.
We did get requests to have a live podcast, and also I told them that we would perhaps be doing a tailgate when MLS starts back up again. And they're like, for the St. Louis game? Like, we'll have to determine this yet. But
I think they just made the idea for us.
That's a Wednesday.
Well, we can do it. We can pull that off. What do we need? What do we need hours beforehand to do it? Game at 7:30. We could figure it out. We could start streaming.
Talk about it.
We could start streaming at 6. We could do that. I get off work a little early.
We could do that.
I like
but
this.
anyway, yeah, there was some people there, and there was people came up afterwards and talked, and it was very nice. I mean, it wasn't a huge crowd, thankfully, because it's been a while since I've spoken in front of a huge crowd. What's the largest crowd you've ever spoken in front of in person?
I've addressed my schools, high school. I've done that. That's like 2,000 people. I've scored a
Pretty good amount.
goal in front of 11,000. Does that count?
Did you speak, and were you on side? Never mind, I already
I
know the
said,
answer to that.
yeah. I screamed. I said something.
I think that counts.
No. Carrie and I vote no. How about you, Carrie? How many people?
I don't know, maybe like 50 in college for a presentation.
Yeah, that's something I've always felt very lucky about. I've never public speaking. It's like one of the number one fear for a lot of Americans, and I've always been very lucky on that front. Never been something that concerned me.
Yeah, I really, really hated doing it at one point, but I think I spoke in front of a few hundred people doing a presentation about something. Kind of a long story. It would not be
You did
good here.
good. You did good. You
So,
imparted your extensive wisdom of soccer and soccer in Kansas City.
well, I was told we all did well. So
Good. Okay. Cool. So today, Argentina, Lionel Messi has arrived on Kansas City soil.
Messi, not yet.
Oh, really?
Supposedly he gets here tomorrow. But
That's fair.
the-
He's got his
the
own plane.
rest
That
of the
makes
team
sense.
does.
by the time you listen to this, he'll be here.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's cool to see. It got me. That was the first thing that made this real for me. They arrived. The U.S. was going to kick off here later on. I locked in full bore for the World Cup today.
Yeah, I think I'm a little confused about why they chose Berkeley.
Yeah, so they're staying at
Especially-
at Berkeley Riverfront Hotel. I do think that that's a kind of an
It's
odd choice.
questionable not only, but because they're practicing in KCK. Like that's
Yeah.
a 25-minute drive. You'd also think that they'd stay over there because it's more secluded.
Mhm.
Like they should be staying at like Margaritaville or Great Wolf Lodge, right?
The Great Wolf Lodge out there. Yeah, that would help.
Like tomorrow I will be playing my makeup volleyball game right outside the hotel. You would think that they want people to like not be outside of their hotel.
I like that you added the makeup game, as in that makes it more pathetic. If it was a regular season game that Messi was watching from his window, then it'd be okay. But
Yeah.
See, just wave them down to join you. I mean, that sounds like there's like a Bud Light commercial or Michelob commercial just ready built for that.
Carrie, I'm playing for the title on Monday night. Playing for a towel
Where at?
at Volleyball Beach in
I
Martin
don't know
City.
Oh, okay.
Towel.
Someone listening does. Yeah, that's what you get for winning.
Okay.
I won a few years ago with my sister for whatever Casey Crew. It was an actual medal.
Before she left for Spain.
I think yeah.
See, just
Before
It would have
flashing
been hard to
knowledge about your
commute for
family.
those games.
Yeah.
Okay, Argentina is here. There's some excitement around players arriving. At least I have excitement around players arriving. Thad, do you think there's later this summer, perhaps, we're going to be excited about other players arriving in Kansas City, landing in Kansas City? There's going to be a bunch of fanfare because a guy is going to step off that plane ready to sign for Sporting Kansas City.
I would anticipate there are more players coming for Sporting Kansas City, yes. Do I have any idea how high of a level they will be, that they will actually incite excitement, or a bunch
That we
of
know their
commotion?
plane that they're coming in on.
It's been a long time since I've been like, oh, there's somebody flying in to join the team that I
Yeah.
cover or support, but it could be, yeah.
So,
What
okay,
level?
maybe not that big, but you're still believing that Sporting Kansas City is going to bring in a few players. We had some questions. We kept some time for Sporting at that panel. Got some good Sporting questions. We were all negative, and you kind of took the side of, well, someone has to be more positive. So now that it's less candid with people staring at you, do you believe still we're going to get some reinforcements this year besides the one we already know about?
Yes. And we discussed it at the last pod. I don't think you were on, were you? Anyway,
Missed that one.
Did you listen?
Not to that part, at least.
any part that might have concerned you.
Right, like the beginning.
Okay. Yeah, there was
Okay.
more. You need to listen to more. We talked about you a few times. That's okay.
Oh, I missed
was-
that part too.
I won't say it was like a core theme to the entire podcast. However,
Okay.
There was a couple of comments throughout. So yes, to reiterate, between what David Lee spoke to some season ticket members in some kind of talk, he said the number 4 to 7. I have more than once heard Wiki say, hopefully we'll bring in like 5 more players or like a number like that.
Yeah.
After the last game, Dayon said they'll be signing. Hopefully they're signing 5 more players in the next week. Like literally this 5 number just keeps popping up, right? So,
okay.
And looking
Enough
at the math,
independent sources are citing a number. There has to be something to it. I don't know if they're independent, but
it just seems like there's a lot of smoke. So I'm hoping there's a fire.
Okay.
But if Lee says that, Wiki insinuates that there's a few players coming in. Dayon, captain of the team, insinuates there's a few players coming in. I think there's a few players coming in. Now, when, how, what level? And David Lee did say starter level players, 4 to 7 starter level players. He very much said that.
We need that.
Yes, across multiple spots. There's cap room. There's allocation money room. There's senior roster spot room. The only place that is a little bit short is international spots. After Orr comes in, there's only going to be 1 open spot. However, there's speculation that one of the players that would currently have an international slot is getting a green card. And
His team is good at that. I thought maybe that was Vermees. Yeah, that's true.
And so just say there could be 3 or 4 international slots, and that could be a lot of talent coming in. But it could also be somebody from across the league. Like, hey, maybe we'll send $1 million in allocation money to Seattle for something. You know what I mean? You just never know, right? We don't know. Lee's had time to work on it now.
Who's been here long enough they're getting naturalized? Is it Dayon?
I would say.
That's definitely not
green
the right
card.
word.
Just get a green card.
Yeah.
Zoe could be.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Kwaku has been around for a while because he was in college. I just don't know if he's worked on it. So.
Frifa, maybe?
Frifa.
I don't know where he went to college yet.
Yeah.
And Dayon. So
yeah,
they're all possibilities.
Interesting.
So
okay.
I do think.
Keeping up the hope. That made me feel a little better. I like that. Got me some confidence.
My job.
Something we can hope for. Again, last hopes for the team this year. Avoid that wooden spoon. Remain the only original 96 club to never get that. And don't let St. Louis win here. That's our goals. A couple more players, couple starter level players will help that.
I think not let St. Louis win, period. But if we had to pick one, don't let them win in Kansas.
Yeah. I need that streak.
When we started the season, I had like a few things like, okay, here's like the bare minimum that I want from this team because I knew it would be a bad season, right? I knew it'd be a struggle. One was don't get the wooden spoon. 1, get a few points in this first 14 games. They kind of underachieved that a little bit. 3, advance at least a little bit in the Open Cup. They really, really failed that. Next one is don't lose to St. Louis here. And the next one after that is at least get within really close sniffing distance of the playoffs, if not make it into it. Because if you make it in there, you could do something.
So 1 failed miserably. You're not conceding on really any of those other ones.
Not really.
Okay.
I have international slots. Kwaku, Basam, Lasse, and Xavi. Those are the 4. Dayon and Manu both have green cards.
Okay.
So, yep. So, but since then has come in Capita, because I think the list you have doesn't have Capita on it.
Yeah, it's beginning of the
and Diego.
year.
So that would be 6, or would be 7, which would leave 1 open one. So if one of the other ones could get 1.
Okay. All right. Back to the World Cup. Back to the World Cup excitement.
It's looking nice. FanFest. Drove by it today the first time.
Yeah.
Since everything's been set up.
I took my dog to the dog park the other day and got really excited.
Despite living downtown, I just haven't seen it yet. But I went to
It looks bigger. It looks like a bigger to-do than the draft.
Yeah, I made sure to take Main Street so I could see it on the way back. It's looking fun.
It does. And it looks like a bigger deal than the NFL draft when it was in that same spot.
Which
it makes sense. It's a bigger deal.
Yeah.
Right?
It's an entire month versus a week.
I know, but
Plus,
NFL people are stupid, and they think that's the biggest deal in the world.
Well,
Draft is.
NFL is king in the US.
True that. Okay, so the core excitement for this World Cup. We are going to have a month of festivities and games and people visiting here. So much to do, so much to see. Carrie, you've got all this content planned and all this stuff with other fans that you're going to be doing. What is the core excitement for you? The thing that you are most excited about in the lead up to the World Cup?
Yeah, I am most excited to see the orange double-decker bus drive down. I think it's gonna be Main Street, but it's gonna be really fun because, like, I don't have to be in it because, like, my apartment looks down Main Street, so I'm hoping I can just catch it from there. Maybe go to the rooftop and then join them afterwards, like, get the angles up from outside of the bowl and then join festivities.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say down 35, down Interstate 35 towards the stadium, and I'm like, "Well, that doesn't sound like that much fun. It'd be really quick when they go by." Yeah, maybe just cruising around, the legends out there. That sounds like fun too, because 'cause they're still a long way from the stadium. Oh, that's a different stadium they're gonna be going to, isn't it? But still
Yeah.
another stadium, I-70, that's out alone, out in the middle of nowhere. They need to do that march from I think it's a Wendy's now? It used to be a Taco Bell. Something else is in that spot across the street from the
I
Truman
think
Sports Complex.
I should just do Mark Adams Hotel too.
That's not even what it
Arrowhead.
is anymore. Is that the name of that place?
No, the hotel has always been there. Hotel is still there. I don't
But
know
they
what you're
but it
talking
was
about.
empty. There was nothing in it, and it was down to the bare bones, and somebody bought it several years ago, and they were gonna renovate it for the
The World
World
Cup,
Cup,
yeah.
and I actually haven't heard anything about that.
weren't they going to put like water slides in there or something, kind of like a Great
Yeah,
Wolf? But
they
or did
had
they? Maybe
They're
I don't know.
they're bringing back Cocoa Keys.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, actually, I think that is. Maybe I have seen that
Cocoa
over
Keys
there.
is over there, or was over there. I don't
yeah,
know.
you're right. That's But then they didn't finish it because there was like mold or something. I don't want to
It
like start a court case here with that
no,
justification or
it
something.
doesn't surprise me. I
That
mean,
sounds
that is
about
the
right.
hotel that gave Alex Morgan bed bugs, so
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I don't think that's the only place that's done it, but
that is
yeah,
no,
it's just
that
the
is
reported place.
history. That is NWSL history if you look
It
across
is.
the street there.
They had to go find another hotel just for that.
Okay, Thad, the core outdoor equipment thing you are most excited for.
I just want to be clear. I want clarity. Is it about something that's in Kansas City or the World Cup in general?
Anything at all.
We'll talk about it in segment 3, but I'm excited for the U.S. to play. I want to see them play, and we'll talk again about how we think their chances are, whatever, and players and how they played today and all this other stuff. But you just can't beat that type of level of excitement and having it in home country, having it around the 250th birthday of the country. There should be reasons to party, whether people do or not. So
Yeah, even it being a friendly today, just these are the guys that are going to be doing this for us, and Poach is on the sideline. And oh my God, during that break that they had where they were all surrounded by the laptop. Oh God, that was incredible. That was amazing television. Never been so enthralled by a cooling break in my life.
he
I
was asked about that.
Yeah, so I didn't see it, but the first thing I opened up Twitter after the game was that someone had photoshopped the laptop out, and it was one of those, like, chunky TVs that they wheel in elementary school.
Yeah.
Somebody in the postgame presser asked him if that was legal, if he'd be able to do that in the World Cup, actually. And they said, well, we're supposed to be under World Cup rules here, so I don't know. So
Why wouldn't it be? Aren't they allowed? Don't they all have tablets and with like the Microsoft's brand on the backside of it, or is that just
yeah, but
NFL? I
I,
thought that
I
was a big part of this.
I think it might just be the water break aspect of it. They're not like allowed to get
Right.
something during that period. Perhaps again, I don't know. I mean, if Pochettino don't know the answer to that, I'm sure I don't.
I like making use of it. You're gonna make them come over on the side and sit there, make full use of it. Liked that a lot. Okay, yeah, we'll talk more about that game. Okay, Thad, most excited for the players. Carrie, most excited to see the orange bus. How many people can fit on that?
I I don't know.
Americans or Netherlands?
Yeah, that's a valid point.
Or is it like one of like, Sporting KC used to have that bus that was like you go upstairs and it had like no one was meant to ride that. Like
Yeah.
maybe it's just more of a symbol and everyone just walks around the bus.
Yeah, what are our local municipality rules? Do we even allow double-decker buses? Could I just build one? Could I just put a roof on my car and start driving around and it'd be legal?
Till you hit that one spot that always catches the trucks and peels off the top of them. Yeah, I mean,
and Independence.
Bridge.
Keep them away from
Independence Avenue
Independence.
Bridge.
for more reasons than one.
Yeah. Coming from someone from Independence, there should be other reasons why they're not going there.
Okay, my core thing that I'm most excited for is the quarterfinal game. I don't even know who's playing. I think it will be messy. I'm not sure we as a city fully appreciate that we got that game, that we got a quarterfinal. I know we've spent time talking about it. It's insane that they gave us a quarterfinal. I'm not understanding how this happened, but we are going to see two of the best clubs in the world, potentially the future champion of the World Cup, play in Kansas City. And whether I get to be there or not, whether we make the cut on the credentials for that one, I don't care. That's going to be happening in Arrowhead Stadium, and yeah, I'm most excited for that. I want the world to see Kansas City.
It's very funny to listen to my friends who are excited about it, like they don't watch soccer. And so one of them was telling me earlier that it was just her that got tickets to go see the Argentina opening game. She was like, I'm not a soccer fan, but like I did watch like Argentina growing up and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that's cool. And, like I've seen Messi twice, and she was like, you have? And I was like, yeah. And I flipped him off the last time I saw him. And she was like, why would you do that? I was like, because he's not a part of my team.
Right. Yeah, I agree, Cody. I don't think people realize how big of a deal it is to get a quarterfinal game.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's only 4.
Yeah, four cities got that, right? And after the quarterfinals, because we'll be the next to last or last quarterfinal, because there's 2 of them being played on the same day. I don't know the times. One in Kansas City and one in Miami. So after that, there's a semifinal in Dallas, Atlanta, and then a final in New York, New Jersey, and a third place game in Miami. So like literally, this is like the third most important game of the entire tournament. Will be because it'll determine that last team or 2 going into the semis.
Yeah, that last World Cup, wasn't it the Netherlands said they almost didn't even play in the third place game?
Yeah.
So that third place game, not bigger than the quarterfinal. The quarterfinal is bigger than that.
Yeah, nobody cares about the third place game.
Okay. Awesome. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You know those friends who support your preference for podcasts over music on road trips? That's the energy State Farm brings to insurance. With over 19,000 local agents, they help you find the coverage that fits your needs, so you can spend less time worrying about insurance and more time enjoying the ride. Download the State Farm app or go online at statefarm.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Where is Daredevil? I'm right here. Don't miss the return of Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again.
So what's next?
I feel liberated. We're gonna take this city back. Over-medicated. In an all-new season, now streaming only on Disney+.
They're hunting us. It's time we started hunting them.
I can work with that.
This should be tons of fun.
Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again, now streaming only on Disney+.
Expedia and Visit Scotland invite you to come experience the beauty that awaits in Scotland. The sweep of wild coastlines, quiet lochs, and untamed landscapes. Fresh cuisine that feels rooted in the land. Come experience the kind of stillness that stays with you long after you leave. Plan your Scottish escape today at expedia.com/Visit Scotland.
This spring, Uber Eats has you covered. Whether you're celebrating mom, dad, or your favorite grad, not all of us are great planners, and with the Uber Eats gift hub, you don't have to be. Send flowers, perfume, champagne, or just their favorite meal straight to their door. Gifts arrive in as little as 25 minutes, and you can add a personalized video message for that additional so not last minute touch. So this spring, get a leg up on gift giving with Uber Eats. Last minute gifts that land every time. Must be 21 or older to purchase alcohol. Product availability varies per region. See app for details.
All right. The Kansas City Current are on a good run of form here, Carrie. 5 wins in the last 6 games. 1-0 loss over Boss Nation.
1-0 win.
1-0 loss. 1-0 win. Temo Chewinga in the 69th. Nice win.
Some would say that. I
Nice
am not.
form. How about that? Nice form that they're in. They grinded out a win against a team they probably should have won more against.
Yeah, sure. I think I'm iffy on saying nice form as well, because it was
Okay.
dire there for a
Nice,
while. Like
nice form.
a nice goal.
The Boss Nation people were actually looking better than the current team up until very close to the goal being scored.
Yes.
And it was looking, I'm not saying like Boston looked way better, but they were a little bit better. And it was pretty iffy there for a while. They could have had a loss at home or a
Yeah.
draw.
I mean, so Boston is pretty bad, and like you can even tell that like in some of like their plays, like they are an expansion team. Like it's looking like KC and WSL bad. And at one point, I was like, this game is moving so slow. It feels like I'm watching last year's Sporting play this year's Sporting, and one of them is like slightly better, but like it's a tough watch. And I don't know the last time or if ever that I've looked at a win and I was like, that sucked.
Oh, I think it was a couple years ago when Sporting beat LA
I was going to say Sporting have done that
without
plenty
getting a
of times.
shot
Okay,
off.
no, hold on, but I had more hope for that game,
Okay.
you know? Or I should say I had less hope for that game.
Less hope and more excitement for actually pulling off a miracle,
Yeah.
essentially.
Exactly.
Where the
But I
current
just
should be dominant.
Yeah, I just felt like they came out with, like, very little energy, and maybe it was because Kayla Sharples, which Cody, have you seen her Instagram of
Hmm.
all of her stitches?
Oh, wait, maybe I did see
'Cause she
the
went
picture.
down in, like, the second minute, and it took them, like, 10 minutes, 7 minutes or so to, like, get her off the pitch, and Cooper was running to the sidelines and back to get her medical supplies and stuff like that, and they took her off, and she got 8 stitches, or 8 or 10 stitches just all throughout her eyebrow. And, I mean, the Current have never when they go down early with an injury, it is very hard for them to continue to play, especially with, like, a long break. I mean, you have to think they just got warmed up. They were just starting to play, and now they have another 10-minute break without breaking a sweat. And on top of that, then you have water breaks, which also just kinda kill any form of momentum that they had in the game. So, it just felt like their energy was slow. I was like, "I need all of them to, like, chug a Red Bull right now because it feels like they're moving at, like, 2 miles an hour."
Yeah, of course, the water break affects the other team the same way too. So, I mean, they could have come out better from that stuff. It was a kind of just a overall disappointing performance by him. But on the flip side, sometimes you have to have a bad game and get wins, right? If you have too many, I know that the problem is like sometimes like teams got 10 of those in a season. That's not a good team, right? But if a good team can have a bad game or two in a season and still pull out a win just by the fact they have somebody spectacular. If Timwell wasn't out there, though, I'm pretty sure they were not getting that draw, or they would not have gotten a win. So,
Yeah, it feels like they're still lacking, and we've talked about this on Currently, just about every week, that it feels like in the final third, it's like they're taking an extra touch, or they're not just finding that last pass when I mean, it's obvious to everyone else that the pass is right there, like, my section's getting riled up because they won't pass to each other, or they are passing too much, or
yeah.
when you have the middle section of the upper bowl yelling from, like, top row down to try to get players to do something, there's
Yeah, I want to say when
frustration.
they have so much talent that they don't seem to know where to be for each other like they should
Mhm.
be at times, right? Croy does amazing things, which is she's always been good at doing amazing things. The problem is it takes her sometimes in a spot where everybody else doesn't know what to do with her. It's kind of the same problem they used to have with Dabinia until Vlaco kind of got them coached into a little more semblance of order. It's that balancing thing for teams, right? You don't want to coach the creativity out of them, but at the same time, you do need them to have certain things that they know where the other person's going to be and can read that and be at the back post or be at the center of the box or whatever they need to be. And when people do too many creative things on their own, it looks disjointed and looks pretty and disjointed at the same time, and teams are not great.
You guys we had a question about the current on that panel, and Thad, you were so much nicer about the team and their hopes and your thoughts on them than you normally are here. So honestly, I thought maybe the tide was turning. 5 wins in 6. I thought things were getting better. You guys don't seem like you're no more confident than you were a couple months ago.
Well, again, David always tries to like, are you bought in now, Thad? Are you or whatever? And I'm like, no, I don't have to be. I can be critical of things, right? I can also acknowledge that they are playing better than they were earlier in the year. I can also be realistic and say, remember, they lost 3 straight games on the road when they didn't have their players and all this other stuff. A couple years ago when Sporting didn't have Polito and Gotti, I would say they're missing their 2 DPs. Yes, I thought they should have done better than they did with that stuff. And I think that they should have done better. The current should have done better this year. But that is hard. And again, I don't think Armas should have been the person coaching this team. However, he's not the worst coach in the world. He's has to learn the league. He has to learn the team and all of these other factors. And I just have to be fair about it, right? So I'm not going to like, oh my God, they're great. Or I'm not going to be like, oh, they're the worst thing ever. They're not. They're somewhere in the middle. Where are they at in standings now?
When you said he's not the worst coach in the world, Carrie, look that up. When you said he's not the worst coach, 5th place, not the worst coach in the world, you did a little thing there. You did a little look up like you weren't sure about that. Who is the worst coach in the world, Thad? It looked like you weren't sure. Like you said he's not the worst, and then you went, oh, wait, is he?
I don't know who the worst coach is in the world, but
can't be him. Couldn't be him, right?
I don't think
he doesn't use ChatGPT.
Yeah, he's not the worst coach in the league.
There's got to be somebody worse out there.
She's been around forever. I've never liked Laura Harvey. She's always been the beneficiary of having really talented teams because national team players would go there and stuff like that. And so she's been a beneficiary of that. And not that she's like terrible all the time, but I just think she's not the greatest coach. She didn't react well in games. Like if things went negative against them, she didn't respond very well. And she had admitted it in past that when players would come off the field at halftime or if there was an injury break or something like this, she'd like, what do you guys think we should do? You're the coach. You tell them what to do. Like, I mean, you can get your opinion from a couple of players maybe, but yeah. So anyway, I don't think Armas is the worst coach in the world. He's got a good staff left over from last year. They should be a middle of the pack team at worst, right? So.
And they're in 6th, actually.
Yeah, they're tied for 4th in points, right? But
yes,
there's 6 based upon all the tie breaks.
Well, that's good. We can hope that they do well this year and all of that. And 6th place is maybe better than we thought that they would be looking at this point. But that is a step down from what they were last year. The team that they had last year, the team they'd been building over a couple years, looked like they were going to dominate this league for several years. And now here's the conversation we're having. That in itself is a disappointment.
Yeah, but again, I have to be fair about this. It's like every year or two, there's a team that's just going to dominate the league for the rest of eternity, and they usually don't.
They don't, yeah.
And they last for a year or 2 or 3, and then they go into. That's the reality of a cap league and all these other factors that go into that. I do still think that if Vlaco was still coaching this team, they would have been a better team this year. They still would have struggled at the beginning of the year with having Cooper out, Timoa out, or just coming back in the stupid road trip. They still would have struggled. I think he would have got a little more points out of it.
So
not a ton.
Only 4 points out of first.
That's a valid point you were making there, Thad, but I guess I'm putting all of those exits have to be there's a relation of the same source of a problem that led to
Yes.
him not being here, that led to some of those key players exiting, and I think that's a reason. Like you said, maybe if he was still coaching, maybe they still wouldn't have done that good, but they also got rid of some like very good, very exciting players
Right.
as well. And
And
I may be very wrong, and I'm kind of asking you here, but to me and from where I'm standing, I'm assuming those are symptoms of the same problem, that there's something going on behind the scenes in the way they do business that is not inspiring to certain people or not cultivating an environment that quality wants to stick around.
yeah, and I mean, they still have a ton of quality, and
Of course.
they're going to be exciting because they have a Timois and a Cooper and a Croy and a Sentner. They're still going to be exciting.
Yeah.
It's just whether or not they can be at their highest level. And yes, we've talked on keeping current. We've talked on here. There are a lot of factors to what came into this problem that like Hutton wanted to leave. If Hutton was on this team, they probably have 4 more points at least. I would
Mhm.
think, right? Can't say that. She's on a mediocre Bay team that's mediocre is probably being nice, right? Because they were last I looked, they were way down at the bottom. Yeah, they're 13th.
13. But you
So
have Boston, Chicago, and Racing.
right. Team that you should never lose to, a team you should never lose to, and a team that you should always draw. So there's other issues there. But if I'm trying to look at it just as how I think they'll do this year, that's a different story than what the other issues were. But we spoke in the first segment about the panel we were on, and Chad said something, and again, this is not criticizing Chad, it's that he said something about how Matt Potter was fired after 3 games. He wasn't fired after 3 games for losing. He was fired after 3 games because somebody didn't like how he was coaching the team. So there's even going back to then, there's those issues.
Okay. 5 out of 6 for the current. Hopefully things are starting to turn and they're figuring out how to manage all of that talent that they have on the field and play together. Let's take another break. We're going to come back and talk about the Yanks. Be right back.
AI is moving fast across the enterprise. But without visibility, it's just chaos. Different tools, different models, different teams using AI in completely different ways. ServiceNow turns that chaos into control. With the AI Control Tower, you see all your AI across the business in one place. What it's doing, what it's done, and what it's about to do. So you stay in control. To put AI to work for people, visit servicenow.com.
All right, 3-2 over Senegal. That Senegal, surprisingly, was ranked 14th in the world.
Why surprisingly?
That surprised me. I know I have a lot of issues with the FIFA rankings, but
As we
yeah, I
do
mean,
all.
a team with Sadio Mane running around out there, obviously, as it kind of turned out, he's a quality player and is always going to be dangerous, and I'm assuming that's why they've climbed those rankings. And also, I don't know, there was all this stuff with the African Cup of Nations. Did they win that, or is that 14th ranking like is that including the win? Man, that was such a weird situation.
Yeah, I mean, they ended up losing it, right? Because they ended up having to forfeit it.
Right, but didn't they change it? Like, didn't they take it away from Morocco? Am I dreaming that? There was something happened after the fact.
I thought they took it away from Senegal because I thought Senegal won it,
That's right. That's
right?
right. Yes.
But it was Morocco's ball kids and backup players that were trying to steal towels and the water bottles that had the cheat sheets on it, and
That was some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen on a soccer field. That was just insane.
there was a foul that Senegal protested and left the field, and that's how they ended
And
up getting it taken away
straight
from
up
them,
left the field. That's right.
if I
Okay.
remember right.
So we have our 26 players. Poach put out a team that is like clearly not the starting lineup. There was a lot of rotation. I think 10 subs at the half. But that, I think, from what I've seen, is that he has picked a crop of players that are going to be able to make things happen in this World Cup. There's nothing horrible about the roster because we saw a lot of them today. I think maybe what I've landed on is that Chris Richards is is the one mistake, if there is one. I'm sorry, Miles Robinson would be the one mistake on there, if there is a mistake. That seems like he's one that I saw today that I would not like to see play any minutes on when the World Cup starts. But yeah, 3-2 win. Pulisic came out of the gate just with fire in his eye and an assist in 6 minutes, and already had almost had another one before that. So loving Pulisic. There was a lot about this game that I liked. That.
Sorry, you cut out there for a second, Carrie.
I said first goal of the year for him.
Yeah.
First goal of 2026. And to his credit, that guy's a competitor. He's not young, not a young boyish player anymore. He has quite a bit of experience, and in the lead up to this, he was very mature and open and speaking about it, and he says, "I'm not worried about it." And clearly he had no reason to be.
No, I mean, you never know, right? Players will come in, they could be in bad form, and it's now the national team, and they play better. And vice versa. They can come in and all confident and play for the national team and get nervous. It's how they have to play when they get together. And like Poach has said multiple times, it's about being the best team, not all the best players. Or some phrasing.
Did you see his celebration after the goal that he scored?
Yeah.
There was a lot in that. Nothing like special or crazy about it, but you could just feel all of the weight leaving him in that moment, and the fist pump, and he goes down to his knees, and no one was even there. He ran over there so fast and was so pumped that none of his teammates were even over there yet, and he goes down and just screams and screams and screams and kind of stands up and was like, and you could just see the look on his eye, and then his teammates join him. I loved that celebration, and I think Pulisic is showing us that he's going to be in the right form for what we need in this World Cup.
I think that goal for him was cathartic, right?
Yes.
It was the release. It was the release of pent-up frustrations and all the issues and angst he's had over the last however many months. And, they're going to replace the coach there and all these other things. So, yeah, it was a big, big moment for him.
What else did we see? Balogun. I mean, he's legit, and that I know we didn't even see necessarily the exact starting lineup and who's going to be playing together at all times, but the attacking core that we have, it's world class. I know we're playing in a World Cup, and I don't know how many teams, what the cutoff is for what world class, if it's top 10 teams, top 20 teams, but we have a very good attack of very skilled, clever, quality players that can do it with the ball at their feet. They have the nose and instinct to get into the right places. I am very confident in the attacking core. Attacking midfield up, I feel very confident about.
How about you, Carrie?
I'll be honest, I have not paid attention much to the U.S. men's national team, or even the women's for that sake. But I mean, I should bring up Golden Generation right here for Cody.
Yes, I did at that panel. I got to do my take on the Golden Generation, and this is not it for us. And but yeah, I mean, there's no reason to think that there's not other Pulisics coming after this, and we don't need to put all of our eggs into this basket for him.
I mean, this is the first time that we're seeing a cycle of the core of the national team being made up by MLS academies. And so that's kind of getting us onto the right track, especially in what you're saying in the attacking half of players. But it's exciting to see. And, I think that Pepe, got he got left off at 2020. I mean, I think Diego Luna being left off this roster is going to be 2020 Pepe, 2022 Pepe.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, so the next World Cup, he comes out firing. I've already been thinking about this.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the first, I think it was, the broadcast starts at 7 for the game, and then they fit in a couple other commercial breaks for it. So the first commercial break before the game started was Diego Luna.
I hope he's getting his paycheck at least.
I know. Yeah. I was like, good for him, get that paycheck. And it was good. They came out of the gate. It was Diego Luna, Weston McKennie, and then Tyler Adams in the third. And it was just like they all got their parade of their commercials and their deals that they signed in the lead up to this.
Yeah, I'm still a little bummed that Diego's not there, but it's a hard argument to say that somebody that's on the roster shouldn't be on the roster for him. So,
Well, Roldan kicked a ball about 20 feet over the bar today and looked kind of pitiful as he was doing it. So I've already seen some comments about, Yunus Musa and Diego Luna are right there, and Roldan is kicking the ball 20 feet over the bar.
my
Yeah, but when is Moose's last call up?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Musa's a guy 4 or 5 years ago. I would have thought he would have been a key player, a shoe-in for this, but he did kind of fade away. Luna though, I think there's a legitimate question there, and it's not big enough in either direction that I'm looking at Poach like you're stupid for not bringing him and you're stupid for bringing Roldan. I mean, it's Roldan's been playing with these guys and playing for much longer and specifically with these guys. And yeah, I mean, I'd
and can
either
play a
way.
different role. I mean,
And
he's
can do different things.
he can be the six-ish kind of guy that you wouldn't get a Diego Luna to be that kind of guy. Although he'll be scrappy. But yeah, my daughter watched the first half and then had to go back to her place to get ready to do something else. So she was texting me like, what happened? What happened? What happened? And at one point I told her that Roldan took a shot from 20 feet, missed the goal by 20 feet wide. And if he missed it by about 3 more degrees, he would have went out for a throw in. So yeah, it was a bad miss.
Okay, we got our captain. Tim Ream has been named captain. It seems kind of a natural choice for me, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm perfectly good with that. I mean, he's been around the longest. He's been experienced. I think it was something like 15 or 16 of the 23, 24 games that Pochettino's coached, Tim Ream was the captain. So it shouldn't come as a big surprise. Pochettino did say, that doesn't mean you're starting every game in the press conference. But today he kind of backed it off a little bit, says, oh, he was just getting really emotional, so I just had to lighten the mood. You guys don't understand my humor yet.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot to like in this game. What do you got, Carrie?
I was just saying good for Pulisic and Adams. Adams can focus on just staying healthy.
He played a game and didn't get hurt. Good for him.
He goes down, we might be over.
There was one play.
That
There was one play. He just, where we kind of play the ball back and we're working it around in possession, and he baits a guy in and then just passes it away, and the guy kind of kicks him at the end. That part right there scared me. Like, it was just as he was kicking the ball, a guy kind of comes in and he just kind of had to awkwardly adjust, and I'm like, oh my god, is he okay? Yeah, I'm nervous about Tyler Adams, man.
We do need to send a message out to the teams that the U.S. plays. If it's just a normal soccer play and Tyler gets hurt, that's just bad luck. But if you cheap shot him and he gets hurt and taken out, we're putting a contract on you.
Yeah, you don't even need to. It's not even required to get him hurt. Yeah, a lot to like. The defense, I think, is still a question, but obviously Chris Richards was out, and he's working on these pairings and who he's going to be playing more of. I think Mark McKenzie looked pretty good. That is one I liked. I think he can come in and be helpful. I do still like Trusty. It was Trusty and Robinson that kind of had a bad few moments as a pairing. But yeah, so they got those 2 goals pretty much off mistakes of the US. But what I liked, Thad, was right after that equalizer, there was a 10, 15, 20-minute period until that 63rd minute goal that they got the go-ahead, where they were all over Senegal. Obviously, the 2 called back goals in the lead up to that one, but I absolutely loved that response. That when Senegal ties that game, the U.S. was just absolutely all over them right in front of the goals for 15 minutes straight until they got the winner.
Yeah, they scored 5 goals, only 3 of them counted, but yeah. It was, I mean, they were so close too. One of them was a foul that
foul.
If it went one way or the other, I really can't argue it. It was a foul, but it wasn't that big of a foul. So
that's the old school, not enough evidence to overturn either direction, and just depends on what they called.
Yeah, if it was a game that really mattered, I might be upset, but
yeah,
this matters. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, the result of this game matters, but it also does not matter. I already read an article on ESPN that he put it quite well. It might have been Carlisle that he was like, does the result matter? No. And there are things to work on and lessons to be learned from this. And if you're Pochettino, you'd much rather learn some lessons while you win that game than if you lose that game. So result doesn't entirely matter, but you have to think all of the things that led to the win, and for Pulisic and for Balogun and all of those that this is a major positive going forward.
A win against the 14th place team in the world who was borderline the African Cup of Nations winner or AFCON, whatever the
Borderline.
right term of the thing was. All of that stuff, and it's a good team, has a really good player on it. I know they were still missing a couple players coming in, so it was the US. They switched out everybody, full 11 subs, 10 of them at half, and then Berhalter played another 20 some odd minutes and he subbed off.
You think he does that again against Germany? Or do you play Matt Freese for 90 minutes? I would like to see Matt Freese just get out there and play
I
a
think
full
Freeze
game now.
plays.
Yeah.
I don't know about the rest of the roster if they're going to be as heavily rotated, because this is one of those you're trying to make sure they get a little experience, they get out there, they get some rhythm, but not tire them out, not get hurt.
I'm with that, but how much more do you need to figure out here? What questions still remain to be answered about this player? I guess is Gio gonna be in form? How much can I use Gio? That kind of thing, maybe, but
no, I don't think it's a lot of figuring it out. I think it's just giving them a chance to be around each other, get time. Again, like you said, can we get Gio doing something? And to me, he was kind of invisible a lot, but I was also didn't have a biggest screen that I was watching it on, so maybe he did something more than I thought. But overall, it was just get them time, let them be out there, not get hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Zendejas is the guy there as my attacking midfielder, and then I like that and as in form as he is, and then what Gio can do in turning a game on its head off the bench. I like Gio off the bench, I think. Just because there's still questions. Yes, we know maybe the ceiling is higher for Gio and what he could do potentially is higher, but there are still the questions about him. And Zendejas is the one guy on the team there's no questions. He is as in form as anyone on the team and playing as good as anyone on the team. So
he's one of the leaders in Liga MX.
He's one of the best players in Liga MX, like a top 5, top 6 player.
Actually, I meant to look that up, and before we record another Shades of Red, White, and Blue, or whatever we call it that day, I will have that stat pulled up in front of me again. But yeah, he always impresses me by how hard he plays, how fast he is, just, the things he does.
He had one today. I mean, good positioning, jumped on that ball, and after he didn't score that, I was like, that was too easy. That was one of those, he had too much time, too easy. Yeah, that one was rough. He should have, but yeah, I mean, just being in that position and being there and hungry, and I still liked it. He didn't turn me off from his ability or anything like that.
He is one of those that I'm not upset by him being on the team. I was just a little surprised he did get picked because he hadn't been in a lot over the last year. He had been in a little bit, hadn't been seen for a while. But again, maybe that's one of those that Pochettino looked at him and said, I don't need to see him. He's in form.
I've seen enough.
But,
and that it was the exact opposite, apparently, for Diego Luna. It seemed like, in the way he was speaking about Diego Luna, it seemed like that was his guy. But yeah, he was calling him in because I still need to see if I can use you in this very specific way that I'm planning to run this team. And I've seen enough on Zendejas. All right. Any other thoughts? Any other shout outs from this game, Thad?
Not really. I mean, I was just impressed with the performance. They looked good. Not perfect, but Senegal is a good team. That's a
good debut for Chris Brady.
Yeah. Not a good debut, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, not the best.
But
we know he's a better player than that. We know he's a better player than that. And he will probably not see the field. He'll probably not see the end of the bench unless they just, something weird happens. And it'll be better than that, so.
Okay.
All right. Other stuff, not U.S. national team related, just miscellaneous stuff.
Other stuff not on our rundown, too. I thought we were done. Well, what do you got, Thad?
I know, but you know that I have
let's keep it rolling.
Throw surprises at you, right? SKC2 got a nice win the other night, 3-1 at Real Monarchs.
I was getting all those notifications. That had to be in PKs, right? Was it not?
No.
That was just a lot of goals?
3-1, just straight out. Kashan Hines got one, and if I say his name, I'm going to butcher it, so I'm not going to say his name right now. I don't have it in front of me. But Ito something, he got 2.
Do they take a break? They play through the whole thing?
they're still playing, but they're gonna have some gaps in there. So like they have a game on the 9th and then a game on like the 20th or something. So they're only getting a couple games in because they're not gonna be able to play at home because their home's taken over by England.
Right.
I don't know where they're gonna train while England's there.
When does England arrive?
Supposed to be soon. I've never heard exact date, but it should be soon.
It sounded like Argentina, like, I mean, they're the first
Of
country
anyone, yeah.
of anyone, but like, it sounds like a week or two.
Yeah, but
Or,
half
like,
of them
quite
just had
some
to fly
time.
from Miami.
Yeah.
True.
So anyway, I don't know when they'll get here, but
Well, it came on an
SBC2
Argentinos plane, so I think that plane came from
No,
Argentina.
they did go to or in Argentina. I'm just
Yeah, you
making
think
it
they flew
so-
from Miami to Argentina then to do that flight back?
Well, the ones who are not named Messi, perhaps, yes. Because remember, it was originally reported that Argentina was going to train in Miami because of how close it was and
Right.
all that stuff. And then they decided to take Sporting's training center and kick England out of it. So that's kind of how it worked.
Like England had dibs on it?
England wanted it, yeah.
Well, how does that work? Who gets it?
Argentina gets
They
to
pay
pick it
more?
first because it goes in order based off rankings.
World
No
champions.
shit?
World champions.
Yeah.
That's
World Cup
legitimately
champion.
how that goes. It just goes
Yes.
on
Yes.
dibs like that. Why wouldn't it just? Who pays more? Why wouldn't we just do it like that?
You know, you would
Don't
think
they pay? They pay, right?
Of course.
Okay. Who?
But you still get
It's not
you have
Compass
to go in
anymore, but
order.
whatever that is, whoever pays us more, come here. I would think that would be how that works. That's how everything else on planet Earth works. But we
Well-
do it. We do it on this. That's weird.
This is FIFA rules, not
Exactly. FIFA rules. FIFA is the most corrupt, money-hungry group in the world. They know how this works.
No, because then you're gonna have people fighting over Chattanooga as a training camp.
so it just goes, that's how they choose. So Argentina got Sporting's Training Center, Compass Minerals National Performance Center, whatever it's called. But it's not called that while Argentina's there. They had to cover up all the advertisements or
Right.
do away with them, just like every place else. You know, it's like Arrowhead is Kansas City Stadium.
Yeah, have you seen there's scaffolding on Arrowhead
Yes.
right now on the signs on both sides? Or is there just going to be is there going to be a Coca-Cola logo or is it going to say World Cup? So they are covering it. You know that for sure. It won't say Chiefs. They can't
Yeah,
have that.
there's on the south end of Arrowhead, like where it has the lower level and like all that stuff. There's stuff that says World Cup on the end of that now. Because when I was there a few days ago to attempt to pick up my credential,
It didn't
and
work.
yeah. So long story short, I didn't get to pick up my credential because my driver's license has my full name on it, Thaddeus, and the credential only has Thad on it. So because it's more than 2 characters longer, I had to go back through a background check, and I have not completed that yet. Public service announcement: if you ever do stuff with FIFA, make sure you do your entire full name. All right, public service announcement over. When I drove back by there, I took a picture of it on my phone. I can put it in our Slack channel. It's not a good picture, so it's not one I would put up on an article. But so it's, yeah, they have a big World Cup sign there over what would have been Arrowhead or whatever. I don't know.
I went to a couple Royals games that weekend with friends in town who actually like baseball. And they've just commandeered all of the parking in like the first thousands and thousands of closest spots in the Truman Sports Complex. And it was all empty. It was a Saturday, Sunday game, and there's not one car in that lot, but they make all the Royals fans park 5 miles away in that lower lot now.
They decided to make the Royals fans get a little exercise.
I have yet to. I've yet to go there. It's easy to find any of the gates of the Truman Sports Complex I can drive in, or is there one? Is
To
there
go
an
to the
entrance? It's a big
credential
ass
thing?
building. Yeah. Is it the entrance with the
No,
Lamar
it's
Hunt?
a 4-wide trailer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So if it's that lower level that I was just talking about, it's to the east of that. So lot D, I think it was. So I just went in through the gate next to.
So all those FIFA people are not actually working in the building. They're working in a trailer outside of the building.
Those people are the credential people.
Jeez.
There was a ton of people in there for the credential stuff.
Okay.
So like I went in, I had to go through a security guard who said I had to show my ID before I could go to the little device that I had to put my ID on in order to show that I actually got a credential. And that's when it flagged as You need to go to customer support. I went to customer support and I got escorted to customer support. I went to customer support. Everybody gathered around and watched because I was the first one to get rejected. Yeah. And
Causing problems.
Good job.
And then they called the supervisor over, who then tried to explain to me what the problem was. Very nice person, did not explain it as well as they could have initially, but they promised to try to expedite the new background check because they're somebody I know from sporting and sporting too, because they work security and stuff down there, and they're a very nice person. I always say hi to them and talk to them for a couple minutes. So being nice actually does pay off.
Okay. Very vital information there for all of our listeners that wanted to know the ins and outs.
Well,
of
you
that.
asked the question. I gave you more info.
Moral of the story, be nice.
Yes, it is. Be nice to people you don't have to be nice to. And be mean to the people that deserve it.
But then that's also not exactly following that same rule. That's a conflict I deal with a lot. Because like you want to be nice to people, and even if someone is entirely deserves it, maybe they're a person that you should still be nice to, and it can cause problems
a judgment
for
call.
you.
It is a judgment call, and it is a moral quandary at times. I do not disagree, Cody.
See, there we go.
You've seen me do both.
Here.
You've seen me do both.
Soccer and philosophy here on the Shades of Blue Soccer Show.
All right, so moving on to additional soccer stuff that was not on our rundown, just so I can irritate you more.
Okay.
The TST. Casey Current.
Yes.
Casey Current too did really well.
The TST really snuck up on me. I'm always aware that that's coming, and I get kind of excited for it. I heard and saw nothing about it. It had already started. So in the final, was it the final or semifinals today? I saw some of that on TV.
It's probably the semifinals if it was the women's bracket.
Yeah, I think it was some. Well, I think it was men's and women's semifinals.
So
what did the Current do?
They went 2-1 in the group play and won the group. They actually played really well against the U.S. women, but lost it in the target time.
Oh yeah,
and they were just
So they were in front and lost in the target time.
I think they might have been drawn on that one. I'm trying to remember now. But they did really well. They finished in front of the U.S. women and then played the Iowa Demon Hawks.
Jesus.
Who is a team that played in MASL Women's League. But the guy who organized this brought in a bunch of South American futsal team players, and they were pretty good. And the Current was better than them. Like the Current 2 was better than them. They just couldn't they couldn't finish.
Yeah.
And they ended up losing that game. So it got down to where there was only 3 players on the field for each team.
Yeah.
So it was good entertaining. They should be proud of how they did. And some of those players out there were only 15 playing against,
World
Allie
Cup
Long and
champions.
shit. Yeah.
Right.
Heather O'Reilly.
All right. Good showing. Yeah, the TST is fun. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Year 3? This is only like third year, right? Or has more time passed than that?
I think for women's.
Yeah, it might be 4 for men.
It's been around for like a year longer for men.
Yeah.
And so
yes, because that first year, but the U.S. women tried to play and it did not go well. So they were like, let's make a whole other tournament.
So then they started the women's one, and now they have the co-ed one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Hope Solo has 2 teams. What did you want to tell us about Hope Solo, Carrie?
She rode in on a horse.
Of course she did.
Look, I did not watch TST because, again, it snuck up on me. Kind of forgot about it. Had to do work during the day like an actual person. And the only thing that I saw was Hope Solo riding out on a horse. And then she also had, I think it was her horse that she just has as a pet or something. And then she also had like a matching shirt that had the horse on it. And so everyone else on her team had that shirt as well. It was an interesting sight to see. You see Hope Solo like once every year because of this tournament, and you're like, yep, forgot about Hope's.
Or when she gets in legal trouble. That pops up every few years too, it seems like.
Yep. And did you see who was on her co-ed team, Cody?
Uh-uh.
CJ Sapong.
Really?
Of
CJ.
Yeah, I went back to find the U.S. soccer video of him rapping to Hope Solo 11 years ago, and I tweeted
Hope Solo, Hope Solo. Girl, you make my soul glow.
Yep. Go find that tweet.
Why do I remember
I was
that?
5 feet from that, and it was just like the most awkward thing one of the most awkward things I've ever been around. So it was just weird. I didn't know how to take it. But that's the cool thing about TST though, is it is serious and as unserious as you can be in one event. So like teams named Drunken Monkey and things like that. And
was Kun Agüero playing again? Did he have a team?
I did not see. I was not able to dig into it as much this year as I did last year, but I did just make a point to watch the current 2 games because I'm starting to get to know some of those players, and some of those players, I see as potential future stars or future NWSL players or whatever.
That's cool.
So I
They
did watch more of that.
submitted for them. I think that's cool that the club brought them.
Yeah.
Like you had to pay money to get in there and do that. Like, I think that's a cool thing that they sent them.
Yeah, doing that, and then also World Sevens whenever it pops up.
Yeah. They did the TST last year also, but then they got pretty much. Again, it was one of those like they kind of looked like they could play with the teams, but they just were not organized enough or enough depth. And the coach for the 2s is Vasil Ristov, and he's a super nice guy. I've known him for a number of years, and he's like coached in camps and stuff around here. A friend of Vlaco's, and which was probably how he got that job. But no, super nice guy, really good coach.
Mallory Rubber was on the team.
Yeah, I didn't see her actually play, but I'm not saying she didn't because I don't.
Yeah.
I'm guessing she probably did at some point, but I didn't watch every minute of her, watch the numbers to figure out who everybody was at all the time. So anyway, any other soccer stuff since I've been the one that's
Sporting City won the MLS Next Pro U17s.
MLS Next. They're not pros.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I said that earlier when I was
amateurs. Yeah.
I was because I was telling my wife the same thing. I'm like, oh yeah, they won the MLS Next Pro thing. I'm like, oh no, it's not pro.
So give us 5 years and we will be back.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah, so it's the not academy level one. It's the one below that. So it's like the affiliates or a sort of a semi-related
We will
academies.
still be back.
And did you see who coached it? John Sosa, former Comets player. Former coach for Benedictine also, I believe. So
he's just showing off his knowledge now.
I'm just showing how these are all interrelated.
Okay, we are going to get out of here. Thank you for everyone that came to check us out on the panel on Friday night. And thank you all for listening here tonight. And we'll talk to you next week. Sporting!